We are from Grade 6 will present on Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant accident. The 9 magnitude Great East Japan earthquake struck off northeast coast of Japan at 2:46 p.m. local time on March 11, 2011. It triggered a tsunami that killed almost 18,500 people and initiated the nuclear accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. About 150,000 people being ordered to evacuate. 3 units were in operation, automatically shut down after ground movement were detected, while another 3 are under maintenance. The electric power supply were damaged by the earthquake, and the tsunami caused destruction on the station and also caused failure of cooling function operating reactors. However, all reactor units at the site were safely shut down.
The immediate cause of the accident was the magnitude of the earthquake. It was the biggest earthquake to hit Japan at that time. The earthquake triggered a huge tsunami, which destroyed the plant. However, after so many years with the disclosure of relevant information, we found that the main factor behind the accident was a human disaster, including lack of design, inadequate safety culture, and weakness in the regulatory system. A major factor in the accident was Japan's widespread belief that its nuclear plants were safe, and they think an accident of this scale is unthinkable. So when planning, designing, and building nuclear plants, experts don't properly account for previous tsunami experience. In addition, some international standards haven't been met. Japan's former Prime Minister admitted in an interview that the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant was chosen in the wrong location, and the threat of tsunami was not fully considered.
Following the nuclear explosion, 167 workers were exposed to radiation that slightly increases their chance to cancer. 120,000 people in a radius of 40 km around the Fukushima nuclear plant were evacuated due to the high level of radiation in the area. The radiation also affects the local food supply. The local food supplies were contaminated by radiation deposited at the leaves or in the uptake by the roots. The water bodies, especially the ocean, was also discovered to be contaminated with high levels of iodine-131 due to the leakage in the nuclear plant. Other than that, the Fukushima residents was hit hard mentally rather than physically. The residents of the affected areas are at a higher risk of having mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, and suicide. Fortunately, there have been no death or cases of radiation sickness towards the Fukushima resident thanks to the effective evacuation plan by the Japanese government. While there were no deaths associated with the radiation exposure, 18,500 people died due to the earthquake and tsunami disaster.
After several research, some experts believe that the Fukushima Daiichi accident can actually be prevented. So they suggested that every nuclear power plant should have a protecting emergency power supplies. These supplies include diesel generators and battery packs by moving them into the higher ground or by placing them in watertight bunkers. The safety officers also need to enhance the protection of emergency coolant pumps such as seawater pump. This seawater pump bears lubricating water to cool off electric motors and reactor core to an optimum temperature. Of trouble of primary cooling water loss or when the main steam pipe is broken, high pressure injection pipe is needed. Boric acid will be urgently injected, and as a result, the reactor core is cool and the fuel rod is kept in an allowable temperature.
The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant accident resulted in the dispersion of the radiation in the environment, which has become an unpleasant part of the citizen's daily life. If the international best practice and standard had been followed and the international review had been conducted, the Fukushima disaster could have been avoided and many lives could have been saved. That's all from us. Thank you.